Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and I've got some stuff to say. So, it's been exactly a month as of today when High School Years came out, and since then, we've had just one patch that claimed to fix some issues, but it seems for the most part it did not actually do that. One thing I know for certain that has not been fixed is the fame bug, where if you hover over a random sim or sometimes even a cat or a dog, it will claim that sim or pet is famous when they're actually not. It's false advertising. It happened to me in both brand new saves and existing ones, so it's not like with the aging bug, which has apparently only been fixed for new saves after the patch came out. And then we got a Sims Delivery Express, and they just kinda went silent after that. It's been about 2 weeks since that Sims Delivery Express drop, and apart from random memes that have definitely gotten a lot of backlash and reposting of people's builds and fan art, The Sims has stayed very quiet. Same thing with the Simgrews, but I'm assuming they've been instructed to stay silent about the state of the game. The state of the game is that it is pretty broken, not just High School Years itself, but also the base game. And it's just tragic to see, because I haven't even played much Sims recently. I've just kind of gone into it if a new mod or custom content item that I really like has come out and I just want to see what it looks like in my game. But otherwise, I haven't really done anything meaningful. I haven't done much even, like, saving. I've just kind of messed around with stuff. This has also made me not feel very motivated to make Sims content either, and I know I'm not the only content creator that is feeling like this right now. I've kind of shifted a bit more towards other stuff, like Fall Guys. I think that's the game I've actually played the most recently, and I've also been keeping an eye on more Sonic-related stuff since they're finally releasing more stuff about Frontiers, and Disney Dreamlight Valley is just around the corner too. I did do that video recently on the demo, and that looks pretty promising, and if they continue to stay silent about The Sims, then don't be shocked if come September this becomes more of a Disney Dreamlight Valley channel than The Sims. What's weird too is that we had more transparency just after My Wedding Stories came out than what we have right now, because they did put out a laundry list saying, okay, we understand there are issues with the game. They didn't apologize, but they at least acknowledged that there were issues, and they put out a couple of patches fairly quickly, but there hasn't really been all that much of that post High School Years. So it's not that they don't have the tools to put out that transparency, because we've had laundry lists for a while now, but they just haven't done that with High School Years. So even if they can't put out a patch right away, they could still say, okay, these are the biggest concerns that we're working on right now to resolve in the next patch, most likely, since it's not a 100% guarantee, even though usually the bugs that appear on the laundry list do get fixed in the next patch. Now we're about to go into September, and we barely know anything about what's even supposed to happen next with The Sims 4. I'm shocked, but pleasantly surprised that they haven't had the audacity to announce another kit, because for the past 2 to 3 months, they've just been rapid-fire releasing content, so I figured the next kit was also just around the corner. But no, we're supposed to be getting 2 kits by the end of this quarter, which ends, well, when September ends. And yeah, I guess they're just gonna cram them both into that month. I wonder if it was always the plan to release both of those kits in September, or if because of the situation right now, they have pushed back the release date of at least one of the 2 kits. In a way, I think what's going on right now is even worse than what happened with My Wedding Stories, not just because of the lack of transparency, but with My Wedding Stories, at least it was like, oh, well, just avoid throwing weddings and you'll avoid most, if not all, the issues. But with High School Years and its patch, it's affected the whole game, so it's not nearly as easy to avoid. Even when I'm on PC and have the ability to download mods that fix some of these issues, I still don't feel very motivated to play. I think if I was on console, I wouldn't even be touching the game at all. It's really sad too because I so badly want to dive into this game again, genuinely, and not just to mess around with stuff, but I feel so discouraged and demotivated because of the shortage of patches and transparency. Even in the past few days alone, I learned of a couple of other major issues I didn't know about previously, because toddler genetics are now broken, so when babies grow up into toddlers, or if you age them down, they all have the same default face, which is really weird. And when I was just reading another Plumbob's Lacey Legacy, which I highly recommend reading if you haven't, it's probably the most I've been invested into anything Sims 4 related as of recently, he ran into this bug where the mood bars do not change color when the motives get really low, so his heir died of hunger before he realized it. It was too late when he saw, oh, that Nova was too hungry, and then she ended up dying. When you go to the bug report section on Answers HQ for The Sims 4, there's pages upon pages of issues that haven't been solved, not just ones that have popped up recently, but ones that have been around for a while. I just remember now, like one issue that I brought up multiple times are the T-posing doctors in the get-to-work hospitals when your Sims choose to give birth there, because that's been around since cottage living and that still hasn't been fixed. And one very long-running issue is how when you switch from live mode to build mode, you just get so much lag. It's not every single time, but it does happen quite often. I remember with the patch that came out just before My Wedding Stories, they said they fixed it, but they didn't. It actually did happen way less often for me personally, but then after the pre-high school years patch, it came back stronger than almost ever. Like it was about the same as it was before My Wedding Stories. What's really annoying about that too is that sure, you can click on the notifications or certain other things to get rid of the lag, but that doesn't always work. Sometimes it just persists no matter what, and all you can do is exit and restart the game. But I know even then, at least in my case, it doesn't always solve the issue for that long because it can come back pretty quickly, so the only guaranteed way that it can go away for at least a little while is to completely restart my computer, which is not always convenient. It is quite worrying that people within Maxis and EA have insisted that The Sims 4 is not done yet, it's still going to go for years to come. But then we keep having all of these issues pop up and then it piles on more and more because then there's many issues from the previous updates and packs that have still not been fixed. I remember a while after My Wedding Stories came out, I did make a video where I said I'm scared for the next Sims 4 expansion pack because My Wedding Stories was a game pack and it was already so broken. So what if the next expansion pack also ends up being just as broken or even worse? And I would say that my fear was realized, and not from them adding fears to the game, but because, yeah, we've gone a month after high school years and barely anything is being fixed. I miss when I could just be really excited about an upcoming Sims release and not be like in the back of my mind, oh no, what major game-breaking issues are going to be introduced this time around? I don't think I've had that feeling of just 100% pure excitement since The Sims 2 days, maybe even when The Sims 3 base game first came out, but not since then. Even when there have been the odd packs like Cottage Living and Werewolves that I've been very excited for, there's still that feeling in the back of my mind, that dread that, oh no, something's going to get very broken and it may not get fixed for a very long time, if ever. I wonder if eventually there will be some kind of breaking point where even the most casual of Sims consumers who don't spend time keeping up on social media with the latest Sims news, but are still very dedicated and buy every single Sims pack as they come out, where even they will be like, no, you know what? This is not worth my money anymore. I will start spending my money on other things instead. Because that's the only way I could imagine sales of The Sims going down to the point where EA gets a wake-up call and realizes that, okay, the way we're doing things right now is not okay. we actually do need to put more effort into quality assurance and make sure that all these issues actually get fixed before our releases go out to the wider public. However, I think this is a huge long shot because The Sims has such a massive and loyal fan base. I can't imagine that actually happening. I would love to be wrong about that, but yeah, that's how I feel. I think the status quo will just continue on as it is. I'm sure this video will change nothing, and some people, as they do, will love to continue complaining about other people complaining, but I just wanted to talk to you all and get this off my chest.